Well, Patrick, I feel like the Judd's Hockey Show podcast crew was a little overconfident going into the opener against the Rangers. They might need a reality check here after a beatdown last night.
I heard on Twitter this morning somebody responded to something I wrote saying it was so bad that Tony the Pony said he didn't think the fellas were playing their best last night. Even Tony could not blame it on bad luck last night.
Wow,
that must have been a disaster if Tony couldn't come up with an excuse. And I said 2-3 weeks ago I was worried about the Flower. He's too old to carry the burden. And but now what I'm hearing is a lot of the goals he had no chance on, right, Judd?
Yeah, that's what we tried to sell. They were, I mean, in their own zone, everyone stunk. So now I did hear though that I saw on Twitter we got the excuse from the Bally's crew late in the game that the Rangers had played a game. The Rangers had played a game. They were into the season. And the Wild was their first game. So what would you expect?
But if it had been the other way around, we would have been a little tired from our game, and the Rangers would have been fresh, right?
Hey, you know what? Whatever works.
Lose that one.
You're getting the hang of it.
It's like the turkey of the year. You can't lose. It's either motivation or you were right. There's something wrong with them, So
you're getting the hang of it, Pat.
Yeah, right.
You can work for Bally's very soon. Let's go to the studio where Pat Reusse, new contributor.
That would have been
I don't know what they're supposed to do. Okay, Pat,
Patrick?
thanks.
Right, that's true. So even Brodin stunk on defense last night.
Oh, he was horrible.
Brodin, what's wrong? What if he goes in the tank, man?
They're in serious trouble. They are in serious trouble if they lost Brodin.
So who do they have him playing with?
Dumba
again. I thought I read that they were switching them.
They did, but then they switched back very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they had Spurgeon and Brodin together, and they had Dumba with was it Goligoski? It didn't work, so they just aborted it.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a little bit of a surprise. Even the parents driving their two kids home to Woodbury would have had a hard time last night saying, "Didn't you have fun?"
They bought jerseys, Pat. The hockey lodge was filled. They bought jerseys.
Do we have new ones this year? We got any new color or any new ones that they can buy that spend another $250?
The reverse retro, which is pretty much going to be similar to that North Stars one they had 2 years ago, is supposed to drop here in pretty soon, like within a week or two.
Oh, okay. It'll be madness anyway. Well, there's only 81 left. I hope they get their.
Well, the good news is they set the tone for the other 81, down 6-3 last night, and Foligno said, "Guys, I've got jump on my back here. I'm gonna send a message."
Did you see Aaron Levinsky's photo in today's Star Tribune, which is one of the all-time greats of Reeves landing one on and putting his face right up next to the glass? It's an all-time. He was gonna beat up Reeves, huh?
Foligno's tough. He ain't that tough.
Yeah.
And he lost a decision badly right there.
And here's the deal. Even John Gilbert couldn't have given him the victory.
No, he got his ass whooped.
North Stars ever lost a fight when John covered it. But Foligno, that the only reason Reeves is in the league is to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
That's not the guy you want to fight because that's all he's there for. So.
Not a good tone. If Phil is correct, the tone was set 0-82. That's the tone.
So what do we do now when there's a fight like that? Do they get fined $5,000 a piece or something?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Not unless it's a cheap shot, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Well,
no fines.
What the heck? There were smattering of boos at the end of the first period, I heard, as the boys.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, there were boo birds. Mm-hmm. They got very antsy. There was a 5-on-3 at one point, Pat. They had the Wild had a 5-on-3 for probably almost 90 seconds.
Really?
And the classic pass, and shoot, and they were getting antsy and they couldn't convert.
Well, I don't know. Somebody running Star Tribune Twitter last night, though, had the right attitude. Boldy scores twice but Wild stumble or something like that.
Coming up next, Matthew Boldy's on pace for how many goals? 160 plus.
That is true. So, who's Now, I've always considered the Wild to be the worst in town as far as promoting the home team. But the Twins, I think, made big strides this year to try to get
The Twins were. This is one of the greatest years in Twins history of telling you what went right and brushing under the rug or making excuses. You know, the injuries were the only thing that derailed us.
Yeah. So it's tough to keep up with the Wild, though, man. It's tough to keep up with them. You know, much like our guy Perky, Wes Walls went through the washer too.
Oh yeah.
Well, Wes Walls used to rip them, and now Wes is pretty much on board.
How have they not gotten to Jim Pete yet? Like Jim Pete, you know, he'll give you just enough homer here and there, but he criticizes way more than anyone else.
Yeah, but he's had more experience too. You know, until last year, he's had more experience. But I don't know. I haven't heard Jim Pete's new play-by-play guys. What's the word? Any good?
Honestly, I've had the games either on mute in the background, or I've gotten like opposing feeds through the package. So I have not heard Michael Grady yet. I have no take on it yet.
You know, Benzie, you know, he had a pretty good run. He should be happy.
Benzie,
years,
okay,
right?
all right. I don't mean this to be demeaning or anything, because I do think this sport is on the rise. But I made a trip to Phoenix, one of many trips to go see my dad and stay with some family friends. And the family friends love tennis and pickleball, and they had recorded some sort of pickleball tournament. They wanted to show me like this pickleball rally. Phil, you got to see this. Guess who was doing the play-by-play on the pickleball rally?
No
Benzie?
way.
Dave Benz.
Oh, really?
He's calling national pickleball tournaments now.
Wow. I had somebody the other day when they were mad at the Twins saying, "I'm switching to pickleball." That's probably
It's Brockmeyer.
That's probably
It's Pat. It's Brockmeyer. Dave Benz is Brockmeyer.
What a serve!
He's calling pickleball.
Well, did you guys see didn't Tom Brady is investing in a pickleball
It's
team?
great. It's fun. There's
LeBron James is investing in a pickleball franchise.
There's like a league and court just up the road here that I've been to. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
It's annoying, though, if you're in the vicinity of the pickleball court, because everybody's 75 and they're all screeching and acting like idiots. Just hit the ball and shut up.
I love it. Rip pickleball.
Down in Fort Myers, when we had the place down there, the pickleball court was only a half a block away, and we had to listen to it every morning at 7 a.m. The same old gal screeching. Everyone went on a shot. Anyway.
It's hilarious.
So, Correa made it official. Okay, 2 a.m.
He did. He told El Nueva Dea newspaper.
It was a newspaper down there.
Dia.
That was no surprise there. I do wonder if he's going to get as much money as Boris is suggesting, that he might get the most ever and stuff like that. I think he's in the 250s, don't you?
Well, there's also 3 other really good shortstops. He might not even be the best shortstop on the market. So,
yeah, but Bogarts, I think offensively is, but hitting wise. But I don't know. Bogarts, he's probably the best defensively of the 4, right? Swanson's pretty good too, I guess. So. Anyway, but yeah, it was. We know one thing: Palacios is not going to be his replacement because they put him on waivers. And who claimed him? Detroit, right?
Yeah, Detroit did.
The Jake Cave era came to
I couldn't believe that.
Great Red Sox. Or no,
Oriole?
Baltimore. Yeah, he got claimed by Baltimore.
The deal.
Red Sox.
A lot of those guys get claimed now, and then when they turn it over again and they go back on the market, they hope nobody will. When they take him off the 40-man, that nobody will claim him. With Rocco's love for Jake, I wouldn't swear that we have seen the last of him here. He did end up playing all but 8 games after August 2nd.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you think Rocco told him, "Hey, we'll find a way. Just go. Don't make sure you're renting in Baltimore. You're renting in Sarasota. You are not buying." Okay.
Yes. That's true.
So Correa, by the way, was on he was on the TBS pre and post game show with Ernie Johnson and Pedro and those guys yesterday, and he was referring to the Twins, his time with the Twins in the past tense. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's definitely moved on mentally from his time with the Twins.
But
I mean, you can't be upset at Boris and him because they told him, "Do you want him for 1 year?" when they made the deal there, and and they said, "Yeah, we'll take him for 1 year because we got Reusse Lewis on the way." But
it's such a classic, and I get that there were some injuries and stuff, but like you are gifted Carlos Correa for a year. And you make these trades, which wind up being all these injured pitchers, and you finish double-digit games out of the first place in the worst division in baseball. Like, have zero capitalization on this gift-wrapped, excellent play.
Beyond that, it's worse than that. But being out in the hinterlands and town team baseball is really doing well in some areas. And I think one reason is I can either get in my car and drive to Target Field and spend $14 to park, and then buy whatever the tickets are. And then if I want a beer, I got to spend $12, $13. Or I can go to Johnson Park in New Ulm and pay $3 for a beer, $3 for real sauerkraut, $3 for
talk dirty to me.
German potato salad that the mom makes, and you can spend you get in for free. You get in for free, and apparently New Ulm has created such a concession stand there that people walk down the street on Sunday, eat, and leave. They don't watch the game. It's now a dining experience in which you spend $10 and eat all you want to, or you can come here and go broke.
That's a nice park now too, right, Johnson?
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's been there forever, but they spent $2 million to fix that one up and the one next door so they could have the state amateur baseball tournament. Then the pandemic came. The city council wouldn't let them host the tournament. And now the state baseball board, being the autocrats that they are, will not go back to New Ulm because they're mad at him. So, apparently New Ulm had something to do with causing the pandemic. I'm not sure, but that's the view of
that's what I heard, actually.
That's the view of the very conservative state baseball board, yes.
Yeah.
So what's with our Wolfies? How close are we to playing a game that matters? Another week?
We have, I think it's 4 days. 4 days.
4 days?
Or 4 or 5 days.
One more exhibition game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So tonight against Brooklyn, and this will be the first time Gobert and Cat play together tonight. So I
wouldn't be surprised if they didn't play them together because they don't want to show how they're going to play them together. Wouldn't you think that? I mean, it's going to take some novel approach to play the two of them together, and they probably don't want to. I bet they don't spend a lot of minutes playing together.
Well, you mean tonight? You're saying?
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah,
but,
I think
they haven't. Of course, Cat missed half the exhibition games too. But I wouldn't be showing people how I'm going to run my stuff ahead of time because the NBA is like everything else. They scout the living bejeebers out of it now.
No, that's a good point. And their schedule early on is about as gift wrapped. The first 7 games are all against teams that are going to win 22 games this season. You get 2 games against Oklahoma City. I think you get 3 against the Spurs in your first 7. You get the rebuilding Utah team in your second game of the year. You get the Rockets in like your 10th game.
Why do they always get like 7 of their first 8 at home? I don't get that. I think they don't give it. I think the league doesn't give a damn about us. They don't, let's get their games over with so we don't have to put them on TV or something. Why do they? They're always
true now.
I don't
know. It's like baseball. The Twins being home in April. Next year they got a bunch of April home games, and then and this year they had a bunch of July games. But they always, way before basketball season actually starts, they've played 15 of their home games. It's stupid.
Yeah,
maybe they're just protecting the rest of the NBA from having to, be frigid Minneapolis in February.
Has anybody ever figured out what Utah was doing? What was their problem? Why did they get rid of everybody?
They wanted to blow it up.
They felt like they hit a glass ceiling with Gobert and with, I guess, Donovan Mitchell to some extent.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah, but
they decided.
Yeah, but what do you do with money? You just figure you're going to get. I guess everybody wants this French kid, huh?
They want. I think it's 2
French
things.
kid?
They want to be in the mix for the French kid this year, and then Danny Ainge loves to just have as many shots at lottery picks as possible to rebuild a team. It's what he did in Boston.
They got to be damn near. There is a minimum in the NBA, right? I don't think you can.
A floor? Yes.
You got a floor. I think they can't go down and pay zero. But this is, I mean, you got one of the most loyal fan bases there is. There isn't anything else to do.
I think this happened with the Lakers a few years ago, where they whiffed on a couple free agents at the end of the Kobe run, and so they wound up giving like Chris Mims $15 million a year to hit the floor.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations! You hit the jackpot.
That's right. Yeah. That's what. How about the Lakers thinking that they've really jacked things up now that they have Patrick Beverly. Did you see Patrick Beverly? Did you see that tape of Patrick Beverly bringing everybody together to lecture him, and Russell walked away?
Just walked out of the screenshot.
I'm good.
Yeah. This idiot.
LeBron's like, yeah, what's up, Bev? Westbrook, see you later. Bye.
Yeah, I got news for them. They're too damn old to get good again. So, well,
but I don't know. The Wolves, the West, Golden State's not going anywhere for a couple of years, and the Clippers should be really good this year. But there's a lot of good teams, but they're just kind of they're in the mix for a top 4, 5, 6 seed.
Top 4.
So
You want to be top 4. Hey, what? I sure hope this big kid from California makes up his mind on where he's going to go, TCU or the Gophers, because if Marcus doesn't quit writing about it in the Star Tribune, I'm going to have an aneurysm. Who gives a damn? Where's Kansas and Kentucky? If he's that good, where's Kansas and Kentucky trying to buy him? That's what I want.
Doogie's been on a streak here on the Scoop episodes too with the updates here. So,
on that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He supposedly dropped Kansas off his list, which I'm skeptical of, by the way.
What the hell happened?
I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy's supposed to be the greatest thing.
They decided they had somebody else or something. But it's I don't buy that if you're one of the 5 best players in the history of basketball that it's down to TCU and here.
Yeah. The good news, Pat, I saw after day 1 of the playoffs, the Star Tribune acknowledged them. They might not have had previews, but they actually had the game recap. So baseball is still going according to the paper record.
I'm a strong believer that if the baseball playoffs are starting their second round, we should at least have the starting pitchers in print. But what the hell?
I mean, game times were there with TV.
What do I know? We only had 3 stories on the insightful hour with Derek Falvey.
Oh, yes. Just what a brilliant front office, just making chess moves that none of us can see with the naked eye.
He answered every question, too.
Yes.
Like he sat there, he listened and answered every single question.
Well, that's good. That's good. Phil, this is as down on them as I've ever heard you, even when they were winning 60.
The Twins?
Yes.
I don't like the I know Declan would love if I went into a 10-minute Twins rant here.
That's okay.
Really holds the audience.
He's gonna slice it right off the thing, and it'll never see the light of day.
I feel like they gaslight fans, and I feel like part of it too for me is that it's like there's this PR shell around the Twins that refuses to acknowledge that there may be faults beyond bad luck and injuries to be addressed.
And the PR shell has certainly gotten stronger in the last few years. Terry Ryan never had that PR shell that these guys have. I mean,
I think Terry Terry would admit that he's wrong on stuff.
Yeah, once in a while. Yeah, I have Terry at the end of he quit the season of what was that? The total system failure. The season
16?
of total system failure.
July.
But yeah, Terry got depressed and said, "We aren't doing it." I'd like to see that. So anyway, that's hey, what the hell? I just had a thought that I really wanted to share, and I can't remember what the hell it was. So
Thursday night football. That's what you want to talk about. That great Commanders Bears game.
The Bears last night proved that the Vikings defense sucks. That's what I wanted to say.
So
I saw your tweet.
The Bears put up 7 against the Fighting Seas, one of the worst teams ever. And God, do they look stupid in their new uniform.
Well, it was a half yard away from being 14, all right, in fairness.
Yeah. Al Michaels is going to quit. I'm on the right. He is going to quit.
I didn't hear much of him, but he was depressed, huh? How
Oh,
bad
yeah.
it was.
The last 2 Thursdays have been it's like he's calling cable access high school games. He's Al Michaels.
Yes.
At the end of that game, he was like, there were at one point the Bears are driving, they're desperate, they took a delay of game even as they're they're rushing the clock and stuff, and they took a delay of game in a hurry up, and Al Michaels you could just hear him shaking his head. He goes, "Oh boy," and they're showing Bears fans just head buried. What must it be like? We sit here and complain about our Vikings problems over the years. I mean, Pat, I was born in 1985. I have yet to see an explosive Bears offense in my life.
No, yeah, because you were, that was by the time you were watching football at age 6, they were fading. And
Walter Payton was no longer,
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can't score 7 points against the Commanders. Come on, what? And then the Lions got what? 28 against our boys and 0 against New England, which is half as good as they've been in the past. So I don't think the Viking defense is very good here. But then again, if I was listening to another station right now, I'd be assured of how wonderful they are.
Well, they are playing a third-string quarterback on Sunday too.
No, is that neither of those guys are going to play?
They're both out.
Yeah, Teddy will back up Skylar Thompson, I believe, is what they're going to do.
Why won't he start? Why doesn't he start?
Because he was limited in practice. They wanted to give all the reps to Skylar Thompson. That's what the genius Mike McDaniel is saying.
So
Boy
they've
genius.
now decided to start going for draft choices too. God almighty.
Well, if they get Tua back,
what's Tua's problem? Is he still in concussion?
He's begun getting steps in to be activated again, but I think the Dolphins also have a bye next week after the Vikings do, so he could be back in 2 weeks basically.
So it's kind of like the old Guardy, give him Wednesday off because Thursday's an off day, so we get 2 days off in a row.
I'm willing to bet that the league said Tua ain't playing again until after your bye. See ya.
That's probably it. Well, maybe they figure the league, if Skylar gets hit hard and has to leave, then they can play Teddy, and then the league will leave him alone. But boy, the Vikings are using up a lot of their luck in the first 6 games of the first 6 weeks of the season, aren't they? Wow.
Yeah, this has been about as smooth sailing as you can get. Yeah.
Yes. All right, fellas.
All right, Pat.
Gophers, Illinois. I kind of like the Gophs.
I do too.
I kind of like the Gophs.
2 weeks stewing on their loss.
17-13. They got Ibrahim back. They're favored, actually.
Bielema, man. Bielema. Big Ten genius of a coach. Couldn't coach Arkansas worth a damn, but he's been great in the Big Ten.
Well, you can win 9-6 in the Big Ten if you play your cards right. So, anyway. All right. See ya.
All right. See you, Pat. All right. That wrap with Reusse session presented by our friends at Federated. Federated, been around for over 100 years, helping business owners maximize their level of success. They measure their success by the success of your business at Federated. Find out how they can help you with all sorts of tools and resources for risk management at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.